Mineski's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn to pick.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Necrophos.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Templar Assassin.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn to pick.
Lord Druid!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. You may now select your heroes. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
You know, lately I've just been like turning to my right and going, "Hey, Kyle, like, can you make sense of what the panel was actually saying?" But like, I have Synderen with me.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what they said. Huskar never wins, so.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, here I thought you were actually talking about the people on the panel. Like, it doesn't matter what Kyle and Kyle says.
That's implied. That one is implied. But in all seriousness, I mean, I'm looking at these picks, and I think something that Alan brought up that is a good point is that Mineski's lineup in this case, I think compared to other games they've played in this tournament, it seems more to be in sync with itself. Like you can see a game plan, like a timing window. You're going to play Chen. You pick heroes that push when Chen wants to push. And in this game, you have both the Necrophos and the Huskar. So I see it. At the same time, though, this mid matchup, the TA Huskar, is not as Huskar favored as it used to be. Many a time I've seen recently TAs draw that lane, when in the past Huskar would crush it completely. So we'll see how comfortable ASD is. To me, he's the best player, like the standout player of the tournament for me so far. I think he's played well every game, and a lot of other players have been making uncharacteristically many mistakes. But ASD has remained stable for me in all of their matches. So I think he's going to do great, just because of everything else we've seen from him so far.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that everyone does do great. We've had too many games which have just swung around the back of some unforced errors, but Mineski, like, if they would draft a Necro as well as a Huskar, get that reaction from a panel, it may make you doubt Mineski, but time and time again I've seen them in Mumbai. They were doing this as well, where they were just able to roll out these unusual drafts that you weren't really expecting, and then the teams didn't know how to play against it. And that's why I'm wondering, like, Sirus is a little bit more straightforward with the way they're going to play, if this is actually problematic for them, because Mineski's timings are a little bit maybe more difficult to predict exactly.
Yeah, in a way, when you look at this Mineski draft, I don't think it's very... it's not that complicated to understand, so I think Sirius know what they're up against and when the danger is really going to kick in. And then it's just about how accelerated is that going to be based on how lanes go. I've not been a big fan of Chen so far this tournament.
I think we've had more success with an Enchantress than a Chen recently.
Yeah, I don't have enough of a sample size. It was like going in, I saw the patch notes from 22C, and I was like, okay, this nerf is really big, but we're still seeing teams play them with a little bit of varying success, and I never really felt like in the games Chen won or lost that he was a huge factor. But we'll see how it goes in this one, of course, for him.
And Sirius are really trying to open up. In July has already got the Split Earth leveled up, and Destiny's got the control on Reggie Potato. He started this, and he's going to help to end it. And actually, he himself.
That's pretty funny. Nyx was trying to give the kill away, and just when both ranged projectiles are coming in, he's like, fuck it, I'm taking it. I think it would have gone to Firefly if he didn't take it. He had the faster projector. But obviously the goal was to give the first blood to the Blashrak. But we're going to see these lanes. So, in my opinion, Necrophos as a hero, he is really weak when he's outnumbered. I think playing against a tri-lane with Necro Mars is awful. And a Lone Druid offlane against Sven plus, what would the support be up here? Chen? He's going to hold his own. I think he's going to be totally fine. He won't have free farm, but he will have enough that this tri-lane bottom will be worth it. And just look at KP being sad. And you already look at Necrophos' face, and then you just imagine, like, it's even worse. He's going to start crying soon.
Actually, with that,
he looks concerned for now, though.
With that, it actually looks even worse for him with the cosmetic he's got on.
Yeah.
Necro sometimes has like that toothy kind of happy Necro grin.
He's got the sad boy look going.
Yeah, don't be sad boys. KP's are in a lot of trouble. And in July is moving up once again. The slow's going to wear off, and KP will get back underneath the tower. I'll have to burn the salve of his as Ragey Potato's just like, well, screw this. I'm just going to pass through mid, spear ASD, who's already getting burning speared.
Yeah, I think at this point it's probably the best play for the Mars to leave bottom. I just don't think they have any presence here, and he needs to find out what he can. Or arguably, ideally, he should have pulled the wave. I think he's just selling KP here completely. He should have pulled the first wave bottom that comes in that he could have manipulated. I think that would have been a way better play than going mid, especially considering that the Nyx and Wyvern were playing aggressively up on the Necrophos, so I don't think they could have stopped him from doing it. And even if they stop him at some point and he TPs out or whatever, if he has just double stacked the wave, at least he gets something on Necro. But man, KP's game is terrible already. This is awful, man.
His is pretty bad. ASD's gone jungle to try and play his own catch-up because he's been forced out of the lane. At least he's able to dodge the Impel from Destiny. But KP taking every moment he can. Like, okay, I dodged one of your attacks. That's enough to tip you.
But compare XP between the offlaners, right? Syla is almost level 3 and KP's level 1.
Yep.
And, well, now he almost got level 2, but now there's no more creeps coming in. And if they stabilize here within July, see him running in circles with these creeps, pulling them into the hard camp so he can get something extra here. Or actually, never mind, the Mars did finally get to pull the wave. Okay, I missed that. I was looking at top beforehand, so good. This is what Raging Potato needed to do. I just think he's doing it too late already. But maybe they can come back a little bit bottom.
Moon's now actually into a 1v2 scenario, while maybe a little bit too hard into that. It's a double damage Firefly. That's why he's here in the to begin with, to get that damage in as KP. Oh, Raging Potato, what's he got? He's got a spear. He's going to actually pull Destiny underneath the tier 1 tower. Destiny does not want to be there because there's way too much damage. Raging Potato actually gets a kill out of this. And KP's able to survive and farm under his tier 1 tower in relative safety.
Yeah, good kill. Being able to... that's what it costs when Wyvern has to help mid. And Moon is
going again. Actually, pull Raging Potato on towards the top. He does have the spear, but he cannot. He didn't actually do it early enough to pull Silent back to the tree.
Yeah, you can't. This wall over here, even though it is a wall, it doesn't count as debris. You can't pin people to this wall.
It's not. It doesn't even have enough more vertical height to it. Yeah, it's only like a couple of bricks high. It needs to be 4 bricks, not 2.
You just trip over it instead of getting stuck in it. That's what happens. And then you just back in. So this move didn't really work out, but still from Mineski, considering how rough this start was bottom, just getting that 1 kill and getting the creeps into the tower for KP at least got him his level 3. And the big story is how well Moon has been doing mid. This has not been the general story I have seen of TA versus Huskar. I would still say it's Huskar favored by a bit, but not by this much. And of course, it was a little bit of added help with Raging Potato coming in, canceling the salve. But I would imagine that ASD
he's just gone jungle.
Having his best start here. Yeah, you can always go jungle with TA, but ideally you want to do it a little bit later than this. It's not too effective at this point, but it might be the best play he has.
He's actually being watched as well by the Chen creep, so they decided to try and stay on top of him.
He's mana burning him. That's so annoying. Losing mana as TA is very annoying. 100 mana burned. Oh, he's gonna
getting the kill on the Chen creep, however, is nice.
That's
an easy 20. It's
plus 25. But the XP is bad, and it was. I mean, he has to kill the creep there, right? Because the mana burn is going to become a problem. But time investment wise, that wasn't even. It wasn't good to do. It just takes so long. But they've made a double stack. A small camp, or the medium camp, next to mid lane for him, at least. And you see Raging Potato got eyes on it, so perhaps we'll see Huskar try to come and steal that or contest it a bit.
He's acting like almost the way you act against an Alchemist. Make sure that TA just can't move back into a recovery position. But all the other lanes still seem to be like Lone Druids 15-2, like that. It's not terrible. Ajit is getting a lot of CS, both his way as well. Nice. He's able to also get that solo experience as Sven, because Chen just hasn't been there. They're all battling for the 5-minute runes. Nice start to the split earth.
Good sidestep from Raging Potato. Makes it 2 for 2 runes. They would have lost 1 there if he got stunned. So, and maybe even, he might have even got killed because he used the spear beforehand, I believe. So, pushing the guy away.
Yeah.
So,
how do you actually feel about like Lone Druid and his control against Sven later on? Because I'm wondering how much all this farm that Sven's able to receive can he actually dish out? Having to go through Winter's Curse, having to potentially go through Savage or Root.
I think they have one of the absolute best supports in the whole game against Sven. And if Firefly plays a good game, that can mess with Sven a lot. You have 2 hard counters. You have the Curse against this BKB, and you have the Cold Embrace against whoever he jumps. So
they're coming after Firefly. Raging Potato staying with him. He's actually holding everything he's got. Not a lot of mana to work with. So let Moon and Ninja Boogie do the rest of the work. While up on top, now it's Destiny's turn to rotate up. The Warcry did come off, but Ajit is already burned off. He's trying to get back to the tier 1 tower, but Destiny, and this guy, as an armor bug, he's always in the way, having to commit the Stormhammer, but Silas got there, and he gets the root under the tier 1 tower. At this point, you know you're dead as a Sven, and Destiny even walking away, allowing Silo to get the last hit.
And now Silo is suddenly above Sven's net worth, and this was a solo offlane hero who's now level 6, minute 6, to Sven's level 4. I actually think Sven can't lane here right now. It's going to be too hard. He needs at least 1 hero to help, but even then, the pressure might not favor them in this 2v2, right? You have a level 6 Lone Druid and level 3 Nyx against level 2 and level 4. This is a problem that Mineski needs to fix either by popping lanes around and getting Sven into the jungle, or by executing a gank with the Chen top, or Huskar can make a rotation. Oh, Chen farmed the stack. How nice.
He needs it. He'll need to catch up.
Man, this mid lane went... this is what I would have expected half a year ago, because this is how Huskar versus TA went every time back then. Recently what I've seen, it has not been this bad, but maybe Moon just outplayed him really hard.
It's normally been because you get the levels up in your side play, start having more of an effect, but from the very, very get-go, like, it was just burning spears just running down at him and never really allowed him the time to stand in the lane.
To be fair, we didn't see how the block went. I think it matters a lot for the outcome of this lane, where the lane starts, because Huskar, obviously, with the burning spears, doesn't draw creep aggro when he harasses harasses. So if ASD also had the inferior block, then
they're going to try and kill in July. The chain creeps are moving to the left. Maybe they can get that control. Centaur Stomp is up. Moon's going to be there just to jump himself forward, but into the Pulse Nova. In July's got a lot of damage, but avoiding the split earth. Mineski, they just see it so heavily they don't take the call.
That was impressive. He missed everything with the stun. There were 2 chain creeps and a hero, and he had nothing. I don't think it mattered much.
No, he was dead. It was 3v1.
It just doesn't matter. I'm all about the fun. I like having fun.
Yeah. You know the latest fun that actually came out? Got names for the Hellbears.
Oh yeah, and the Underlords. What was it?
The Hellbears in the camps.
Oh, when are they called Tomato Potato? Where is it that is?
It was listed, right? Got everyone read it. By the way, Moon died.
I thought they were named Tomato and Potato in Dota Underlords or something. I thought that was where the screenshot.
Where that came from?
I mean, maybe not. I just thought that's where the screenshot was from. I could be only just glanced over it.
Yeah. I was just like, you know what,
Speaking of fun, Leftbrick has haste. That's really fun.
And he actually hits the split earth. Raging Potato pushes him away.
He's still gonna die though.
Oh, is he? In July.
This is the best ring. So there's a reason Sumail goes the build he goes on the Leshrac. He goes the mass movement speed build where he takes the movement speed talent at 15. He goes Yashikaya and he goes Boots of Travel relatively early on compared to other Leshracs. This hero with 550 move speed is a god.
Oh, Moon, that's indeed.
It is so good.
He was really going after Destiny. Now in July hits the secondary split earth, then Moon pushes them away with the inner fire. He jumps back out to the creeps and Raging Potato Spear buys a little bit more space and the other pushback. Moon knows he's out of life. The Centaur stun. It actually catches out too. ASD included in this, but he didn't take much damage. So just keeping up. Raging Potato diving under the tower. ASD to get the kill on him. And a rebuttal. Well, it's a quick bounce back. Thanks to this purpose of Nyx, but where's the follow?
That was honestly really well played by Moon. I think he did everything perfectly. It was a great knock, a great jump. And when he turned around, he had to, until he died to the Nyx stun. But that was close. If Chen had been level 6 there, they would have won that fight cleanly.
Because he would have had enough time to get more burning spears up, hand of God. Meanwhile, KP not getting involved at all. Like, he's just been sitting on this bottom lane playing catch-up, and the net worth's not really reflecting it. He's at 2.8k.
Well, it is reflecting it. He is catching up, but
I suppose he was a long way behind.
He was very far behind. Yeah. Sylar is now top net worth in the game, and he took the safe lane tower minute 9. It's kind of reminiscent of what Lone Druid used to do many years ago, when even back to all the way back to Admiral Bulldog at TI3 would play this offlane Lone Druid, and in 1-on-2 or whatever situation he would be facing, he would be just finding experience and eventually take the safe lane tower after maybe killing the safe lane core. And Sylar is doing an excellent job this game. This is not common. If you don't watch Dota a lot right now, we very rarely have an offlane Lone Druid, and when we do, he generally doesn't do this well. So this has been a fantastic start for him, and I'm just curious to see which way he goes. He's going Midas, which hasn't been the hottest build.
The grave. There is no way away from this. The Savage Roar gets everyone to start the run, but with the Duke and Creep, they need a little bit more control in the root on Sven. He can't keep up with the chase. This is all happening around the 10-minute runes, which at least Buki can get one of them.
There are some... Mars is a weird hero when it comes to position 4, because there's a lot of spots on the map where using the spear is just really difficult, and that's why when you play it as a core and you get the fast level 6, you can set up your own wall, right? But in these ganks, it's hard for him to land these spears. Like, they get a Sven stun out, but he can't find the angle with the Lone Druid, and even the Fear obviously can buy him some time. So that's a bit problematic. He's definitely going to need a tome now. Is it flying out to him right now? It is. He's going to get that. So that will be the 6 on Mars. And it looks like he's rushing phase boots. I'm not the biggest fan of this. He has no mana regen on his support Mars. This hero is a mana, like, it's a mana vacuum. It uses a lot of mana when you cast your spells. Currently, he can't afford casting all his spells in a row. They cost 370 mana. He has 3.
They're already smoking up, looking for a fight. Coming through the bottom river. Next assassin coming in close. They actually broke the smoke on the Centaur creep, I believe. So Destiny already feels something is happening. But it's in July, the man they want. I don't know if it's the one they really need. So KP baiting himself now. There's 4 heroes from Mineski gathering up on the bottom lane. Yeah. They want a big fight here. And they may actually just get it. Sentry ward down.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, they do. Meanwhile, it's just a hand of minus Lone Druid farming top. Templar Assassins doing the Ancient stack. This is just seems to be like really good time for Sirius.
TA overtook Huskar now. After getting destroyed in lane. Like, that lane went really poorly. He is still overtaking him. It's just all the space on the map, right? Huskar is trying to make moves and put pressure because he feels like they need to do it. Whether it's by pressuring out the top lane or pressuring... We had the fight in mid earlier, right? Huskar is one of those heroes where deaths just hurt so much. Like, it's a snowball hero, and I have this thing I like to say about some heroes in Dota where it feels like when you die twice. And I don't know if I would directly put Huskar in that category, but he's like 1.5 maybe, just because like your relative strength compared to how much you've died in the game, it just hurts more. It's a bit difficult to explain, but other heroes just overtake you tempo and impact when you're not that item ahead or those levels and that one
you just don't have that farm time, you don't have the momentum timing, and Ragey Potato, for all that armor, it won't help him survive. The bear gets the last hit, and Sylar with a Sirius.
That's a good move.
4 of them together will be looking to take that mid tier 1.
Their lineup is so good at taking towers. They have a Blightstone on TA, and then they have a Lone Druid and the Leshrac. So every collapse move they make that's successful and gets a kill, they can just take an objective immediately after. You would think that the Chen lineup would be pushing pretty quickly, but it's not doing too hot here. Firefly delayed them quite a bit.
But with the break, they may have even got the stun out from Ninja Boogie, but it won't happen. It's still at least a tower trade. We'll get something back from this. No denial is possible. Sirius will not be there, but Nyx Assassin's on the hunt. This is why the defensive observer in Sentry is down from Mineski, so they can see this Nyx Assassin moving. It's only a level 1 Vendetta. It doesn't last long enough to keep the chase going the whole way, and Moon's got Armlet available too. And it feels like Moon's half baiting.
Hello!
I've got it, may as well use it.
Yeah, true, it was running out. I looked at the cooldown and I was like, man, I think he still had that for a while, but after the nerf, no. It's actually 50-second cooldown if you let it run out the whole way. So, he had to use it then. But that's something we haven't talked about too much. They mentioned a bit on the panel the break of the Nyx against Mars, but obviously it's useful against also the Huskar, right? Breaking off the Berserker's blood.
Jump forward. Actually counter-initiated on him. He was the one that was meant to start in the TA, but defensive refraction charges just keep him alive. Now Rotovator, hold him in as Ninja Boogie trying to move himself away from In July and the rest of the fighters. Ragey Potato might be able to get some kind of rebuttal on top as Moon begins his own TP, but Sylar's retreating out. And they've got enough space. Sirius go back to the status quo.
I feel like Sirius are just winning this game really hard. It's not just the goal, it's like the potential of their lineup.
And now they even go for Roshan. The Desolator is done in 14 minutes. So, with all these controls, with the tankiness that the Bear's able to provide, they can just bring down Roshan. But what can Mineski do? Stop this?
It's gonna be a no from me, dog. I don't think so. Nyx was gonna scout them out. If anybody comes close, they're gonna get Atos and killed. Oh, look at that.
Atos killed. Marcelis gets his wall up. As Destiny's in there, but it won't matter. There's more than enough. That Nyx Assassin, Roshan goes into the Templar Assassin, and this may actually be our quickest game of the tournament if things continue the way they're going.
I mean, you hate to see it, right? You're playing this lineup that is kind of all in on a mid-game timing, but you also have a Sven with it, which is a little bit off, but still can work. But your timing is just failing. Like right now, Mineski need to be ahead. They need to not even be even in gold. They need to be ahead on towers and gold realistically to find that mid-game timing that they need. And what has ended up happening is that the top 2 net worth is on the enemy team, almost top 3. And then nothing else really matters in terms of Sirius' draft. They could have their supports could be dirt poor, and it still would be okay. But on top of that, Nyx is also having a good game.
Yep.
Getting that Spirit Vessel relatively soon, and Huskar is gonna have some serious problems, and so will Necro. Like, what an amazing Vessel game this is.
Yep.
Huskar, Necro, and
all these heals are meant to just be like keeping you alive, but it can't even do that. Like, well, they'll find Sylar's Bear, so this is the only thing that Mineski have come close to killing recently. Sylar wants to help out with to get some distance. Now Ragey Potato finds the real one, pins him up against the wall. Is there another follow-up? They committed a lot already into the Bear. The Bear is pretty low, so Potato will kill that off. Moving for his next target if he can get the stun, but now here comes the curse, and it's poor Chen. Nothing the Ninja Boogie from die with a follow-up stun because there wasn't any way to back up while the River ASC's having his own little bit of a battle, but you're gonna lose your bigger hero. Sven takes a fall on the bottom, and Assassin is able to walk it off and not even have the Aegis Immortal burned.
It looks grim. You know, we've had, to be fair, we've had our fair share of games tournament where one team has a lead and then all of a sudden the stars just align in some weird way, like new stars spawn and then
someone accidentally dived.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is. It's just like this is an extreme case just because on top of it, the lineup discrepancy, in my opinion, is just way too serious favorite game. The easy kill here on Moon. It's not going to get easier. We've had... I just... Like, who have we actually seen on the Dire lineup? That's... They've taken one tower. That's kind of what they've accomplished in the whole game. They have not won a fight. They've barely found kills. They've barely shut down any hero. I guess the highest impact goes to Moon for winning his lane against TA, but there's been nothing good happening since then.
They haven't been able to control, at least maybe now, the fight. Nope, you've already lost Rage your Potato. And the Stormboss only control ASD for the moment. He keeps playing around these refractions, and he knows he's got a secondary life. So no reason to back off. Instead, TA trap, slow down Ninja Boogie. Ninja Line brings that Leshrac damage. Oh my god, with Leshrac as well as Lone Druid, they can tank, they can push, they can end this real quick.
I think they get Rax right now, honestly. I don't know, this Dire lineup can't really fight them. The only way they find key kills here is with some sort of God Strength jump and then the Necro Scythe. But they can counterplay that with Refraction, they can counterplay it by just having the Bear hit the tower, they have Embrace against this. There's just so many tools right now. They're going to play it safe, Sirius. That's also completely fine. They're not the ones on a timer, really, so they can just keep expanding their lead. Would kind of like to see them use the Aegis, to be honest, which is expiring in 2 minutes, so we'll see if they try to force anything around that mid tower, for example.
Yeah, but instead,
they don't have to.
The tier 2 tower on bottom, they're already circling the bounty rune that hadn't been claimed on top, and the tier 1 tower with the line moving forward. They want to just keep the pressure on all sides of Mineski. Because Moon still can't fight. Like, even once he gets a halberd, it still feels like they have so many different answers to him. In a game where no one threatens a TA, a hero who's had, like, such an impact throughout this entire tournament.
Yep. There's too many problems for Moon. It's like, yes, you can disarm one. They're gonna get a
Reap the sides. There you go. 1 minute. 1 minute down.
Yeah, that's it. That's nice. They get some time to push the lanes out at least, but again, can they get an objective? They killed away from absolutely everything, right? If this kills around the mid tier 1, they take that tower, but they still have to make the move over there.
Yeah.
But the problem that Huskar has here is that there's just too much damage to deal with, right? Like, even if you disarm one of the physical heroes like the Bear or TA, there's still a Leshrac pumping out the damage. You have to worry about 8 Spirit Vessel charges. Like, good luck getting rid of those.
Yep. And you get the mech, so yeah, first Spirit Vessel charges out, it's over on Ninja Boogie. He's guaranteed dead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He just wants to run. Ajit showed himself because he stoneballed the mid lane. So what does Destiny do? He keeps running after another hero. Breaks him out, gets the follow-up stun. ASD's going to come in, hits him with a Meld Strike. Negative 15 armor, Spike Carapace will return. And he's still battling underneath these TA traps. So even if Mineski want to pursue, they have to go through the TA's traps.
I'm not sure if I've said it before in this game, but playing Dota when you can't really make moves is really hard. Like, if you can't take some sort of initiative and pressure your opponent and you're just stuck back, and even when your counterplay potential isn't that strong, it's just this Mineski draft doesn't have any real play potential at this point. So they're kind of at the mercy of Sirius giving them a good fight, because they can't make it, they can't generate it themselves. It just doesn't feel possible. The only catch that they have is a Sven stun or a Mars Arena, which are both extremely telegraphed and really easy for them to avoid. And should they connect, do they even have the damage to find the kills?
It's when you're...
It's rough. It's
battle for the room. Spike Carapace quickly up, and so is the wall. And Destiny, he got a triple stun with his own impel. They'll miss the spear, and Injuline's already rotated over. They're rotating him from above as well. So Ragey Potato will burn to Injuline's roll a track. A quick curse allows for a reset up. And then it's all over towards KP. Kill off that Necrophos. He's got his ulti off cooldown in 1 second, but no one is anywhere near any... Yeah, that doesn't even matter. I don't even know why I brought that up. There was no one that was losing any health. Leshrac even got a mech, just for good measure.
Greaves.
He's got full Greaves done.
Yes, right. Atos Greaves.
And Silas getting close to having an AC. Like, that's his next item, and the rate they're receiving money. 13k advantage 20 minutes in.
I really disagree with Gaben on this one, on the win rate percentage. I don't think it's 84. I think this is more like in the high 90s for me, but not sure what games Gaben has seen that Dire comes back into this in, but it looks like it's possible, but this is not the way you do it, though.
No.
Ajit is toast. Oh, nice sidestep. Oh, he's no mono
left. Are you going to stun?
He doesn't have mono. Oh.
Hey, that's how you win.
Gaben's always right. Get it?
Plus 2%.
My bad. Don't
Oh, the break. The top stun. Reggie needs to use the speed to push him back. And Sylar, Savage Draw, they're going to go in deep as Moon. He'll get back underneath the tier 4 towers next to Assassin. Now the Reaper Scythe comes down, puts him down. You always remember, man, Reaper's Scythe put someone down for over a minute, you get yourself back in the game.
It changed the win chance by 1%. It went from 88 to 87. Okay. Just another 50 of those kills, boys, and we're there.
Yep. Hey, but TA just got a BKB, so good luck finding those kills.
Yeah, that's another problem that they have. They're actually not good at killing a TA once she gets BKB, because when it comes to breaking refraction, these damage instances, sure, Huskar can relatively fast, but if he gets targeted out, which they have plenty of ways to do, the attack speed of the Dire heroes is not that good, and they need to break through refraction before Sven can threaten her whatsoever, and nobody else deals damage to her in the aura, in the BKB. Nobody. It's irrelevant, largely right now.
They're smoking. So. If they pick up that Arcane Rune, they'll reveal the fact they're moving too, as they pick up the Arcane Rune. No instant ping. And that mid tower is one attack away. They'll fortify it up. Just to make him work for it, but Mineski, this is the fight they really want to have. And is this the turning points we're seeing so many times during this competition? In July, the primary target, pushed up against the wall. ASD's corpse on the edge for the curse. Huskar is locked in. There's a taste of an arena. And Moon, they're all burning down to the Pulse Nova. The Savage Draw, forcing Mineski unwillingly to turn and run away, but Huskar can't do that. The Rod of Atos will hold him in position. Maybe he can toggle his way to victory through all of this while Boogie helps in the tree lines. The Destiny is back. He's looking for the sun, and the root control from Silas Bear will do that work. 48 seconds on the sideline. Another jump in. Archie, it's good cleave damage into Firefly as well. In July, one more attack will do it, but the cold embrace, he couldn't hit through that, but that's why KP's there to do it. I don't know what more he can actually do. Ninja Boogie's the sole survivor from Mineski. He can die.
That's a 5 for 1. They do get the tower, but again, it's too little too late. This tower needed to fall probably 10 minutes ago. You have a mid Huskar that crushed the TA, and you have a Chen. They should have put so much more pressure on getting this tower and forcing something out here. Instead, they only took that bottom tower, what seems like, was it 10 minutes ago or something like that?
It wasn't long.
Yeah. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, I'm sure, but it really is just a timing game. That's what it is. You pick this lineup that's hard to execute and needs to hit this timing. You missed your timing. That's it.
Yeah.
At least they're trying to take these fights, but man, I had a little bit of a hard time with that fight, man. That spear miss from Raging Potato hurt my soul when he got that. He got the arena out on the Leshrac. The Leshrac got bounced once by the arena, and then that spear just went flying wide. And you can't make a single mistake right now. I think as Dire, everything needs to be executed to perfection, more or less. And even then, you also, on top of it, need a little bit of a misstep from the enemy team. So
it does feel like one of the biggest weaknesses of the Mineski lineup. Yeah, he'll die. Another one in mid. Moon just coming a little bit too far out, down for 50 seconds. But it felt like there was that fight, and it was the last roll of Mineski's dice.
Game over.
They're holding in, but it really is over. They can just go for the tier 4 towers right now if they really wanted to. The only issue is In July doesn't have mana again. That's the biggest concern. Yeah, Greaves, they can get something back. Wall up for Raging Potato. Please push him back. They'll buy some space for KP. But they don't really have a lot of fall damage. Maybe with a Stormbolt. Hits on 3 with the Cold Embrace. Once again, this Vengeance cannot put any of that damage to work. GG is called. The tier 4 towers would even have to fall. This was a quick game. Not even 25 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, you gotta do better than that, Mineski. That's all there is to it. If you pick a lineup like this, you gotta play fast. If it fails, so be it. Like, then you try it. But I don't even feel like they really played the timing that they